What's going on, YouTube? How's it going? Done my morning stuff and went shopping over here at this Walmart here for a few minutes. Talked to a couple of people. I got the skinny on what's going on, why they were closed. So they're open 7 to 7, and in a month this Walmart's going to be closed. I talked to a couple of people. One of them said they didn't know why, which I don't think they just wanted to tell me. And then I found
service in Raleigh and is transmitted from an antenna located.
That was from a department manager. And then I found a floor associate that could spill the beans. And they said that they told them in a letter that they were underperforming. We are out here in the middle of nowhere. Like, nowhere. Alright, so we are picking up a preloaded trailer. Hopefully they've got the tarp on it, like I said. Don't have to mess with that very much. It's a nice day out here today, though. Man, it's a nice day. This place here on the left is where we're going. I got some more emails yesterday, and I'm going to talk about that this afternoon on the drive, because it's an all-day drive. I had one question about age.
Approaching Araco CTV planned preload.
So we're going to talk about that. Talk about that. It's the first time I've been here. All trucks slow down and stay to the far right to scale in and scale lanes. Okay. Stay to the far right. We can scale in. Let's do that. £29,000. Oh, we're on our way again. I had to stop at a rest stop and fix my tarp. They had her pretty well buttoned down, but the fronts and the backs were all jacked up. It was blowing out everywhere. And I needed to fix that, so I stopped and fixed it. So, questions from my email. I guess it was just basically one question. Gentleman emailed me and asked me about how how old do you think? Let me phrase it this way. How old is too old for flatbedding? Basically, okay. And I don't know. Honestly, it really all depends on your physicality and your level of activity when you come into this. It's like I said in my response. I've seen people that were, young people that really can't hack it for one reason or another. They either don't want to, or they're physically unable to, or they don't have the strength to do it, or they're overweight, or what. And I've seen and talked to up to a 70-year-old doing this stuff. And he was up and down off his trailer doing this and that, and just like a 40-year-old. So it really all depends on you. Now, if you go back and you watch my videos from day one, I was pretty worn out on day one. Alright? The level of physical activity that I had to exert out that day and the few days after was more than I had done in a while. So, now, like I said, I came from, retail management, and there was some, we had to do physical stuff, lifting boxes, putting boxes here, putting boxes there, putting freight on the shelf, that kind of stuff. And a lot of times when I was manager at Walmart, a lot of the very heavy physical stuff, I would get out there and I would do with my associates, because that's the kind of manager I was. So it wasn't like I didn't have, the upper body strength, or the bending and the stooping and all that stuff. But this is a different kind of work. Okay? I got some bugs. Bugs are out. Spring's out, bugs out. Let's see if we can get some of them bug guts off here. Somebody in the comments said put some alcohol in there and take care of those bug guts. But we'll see. I'm going to try that. But anyway, back on course. The amount of physical labor that I had to do, for this job was above and beyond what I'd had to do before. And really what it boils down to is my knees. Okay? My upper body has gotten used to the work. My shoulders are still a little sore, even after 4 months. It depends on how hard I pull on those bungees. It's like pulling a weight, right? The further you stretch that thing, the harder it is, and the more your muscles got to work on it. But really, what I needed to focus on was my knees. I have a bum knee on my left-hand side. I heard it when I was working at the Walmart warehouse there in my hometown when I was 21 years old, and it's given me problems ever since. Not to the point to where I can't walk, can't bend, can't stoop, but it does ache. And it, I realized at one point that when I was coming down off my trailer onto my truck, the catwalk on my truck, a lot of the times I was coming down on that left-hand side because we come off, we need to come off backwards, right? And when I realized that's what I was doing, and realized why my knee was aching so much, I switched that around, and now I'm conscious about coming off my trailer onto the catwalk on my right foot, and that has eased some of the impact on my knee. The other thing that really gets me is the long stints in the seat. Your left knee's bent, you're really not doing a whole lot with it, There's no clutch to push in and out. You're not working it a whole lot, and it's just kind of dangling there. And I'll get out of the truck, you know, when it's break time or whatever, and, you know, it'll let me know that it's there. You know, excuse me. There's a lot of times when I wince and I'm coming off that, you know, coming down out of the truck because my knee's going, hey, hello, forget about me, you know. So what I try to do is on these longer runs, you know, if I'm running 1,000 miles or whatever, and I've got almost 2 days of driving, you know, I'll sit and I'll push my knee out. I'll extend my left leg and pull it back a little bit, and try to work it out a little bit while I'm driving, and that way, there's a bug in here, a fly. What the hell? Let that knee work a little bit. But it all depends on you and how much, you know, how much physical exertion you can take. Your upper body will probably get used to it. Like I said, mine's my knees. So, you know, I don't want to tell you a certain age, because you know, I'd be lying to you. You know, you need to figure that out for yourself. Now, I will tell you, before I came to Maverick, about I don't know, probably a couple of months before I came to Maverick, I started walking every day, and I'd get up in the mornings before I'd go to work, and I'd walk, you know, a good 1.5 to 2 miles, and come home and drink, you know, tons of water throughout the day. And that seemed to help. Water seems to help your joints, from what I've seen, what I've heard. So taking in a little more water helps. Getting that walk in, it helps. And just like a while ago when I stopped, before I did my tarps, I walked around a little bit in the parking lot and got my knees working a little bit better and stuff before I jumped up on that trailer and started messing with my tarps. Now, the other thing is your lumber tarps, okay? The steel tarps aren't that heavy. They're probably only about 40 pounds or so, maybe. They're not that bad. The steel tarp, or the lumber tarps, on the other hand, are pretty goddamn heavy. You know, they're in excess of, you know, 100 pounds. And it's very hard to get them up on top of a lumber load or a gypsum load or whatever without help. So I've only had to put lumber tarps on top of a load physically myself a few times. And normally what you do is you can ask the forklift driver that's loading your truck if they'll put the tarps up there for you. And that's the best way to do it, because those things are heavy. Especially when they get wet, they're extremely heavy. So try at all costs. If you come to Maverick or TMC or Western Express or any of these other flatbedding companies with those lumber tarps, try to get your forklift driver to put them up there for you. That'll save you a whole lot of heartache, man. I'm telling you, a whole lot of stress, a whole lot of pain. Because I mean, basically, you got to put them up on top of your head to get them up on top. Man, that fly's got to go. But anyway, we're gonna get down the road and see if we can't maybe get there tonight. If not, we're gonna get pretty close. I'll see you in a little while. Oh man, we had stopped at this Love's over here. I needed some fuel before I hit the mountains, and was gonna run in here and take a shower real quick. Well, everybody had the same idea. Good hour later, I got a shower and headed back to the truck, and I'm gonna get into Ohio before we stop tonight, so it's gonna be late. That's all right. We got 7:30 to 2 tomorrow to deliver, so, and we're staying in Eastern time, and that's okay. So let's get back in the truck and let's go. Whew, it is late. It's 9:18 here. We've still got I still had an hour on my clock, but we're about 20 miles from, well, not even 20 miles from Ohio. Got 176 miles to go. We'll do that in the morning. My goal was to get out of the mountains, and we're pretty much out of the mountains, so no big deal. But guys, I appreciate you being here and watching the videos. Honk that like button and give me a thumbs up for that, and leave me a comment. I like comments. I'll talk to you tomorrow.